I don't think we could do it without the help of men.
Oh.
Had to say it. I had to say it.
Oh, why do we say it?
I say it because I think about what I'm able to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can come up here on this podcast and I can say whatever I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to worry about losing a job because I quit.
Period.
I don't have to worry about whatever job I am or am not going to be able to get based on how I say it or who I say it about, because I have the support of a man. Baby girl, I love you, but be so for real. That girl, that one that be at your little parties, she's not your friend. She don't even like you for real. She just don't. Today's special guest is none other than Miss Elizabeth. She is a reporter. She's a model. She's a friend. She's a daughter. A future wife. Waist Cam. That's our special guest. So we, over time, have talked about little situations where we had people that we thought was our friends, and we was showing up for them, doing things that they wanted us to do, breaking our fucking backs.
Yeah.
Yep. And the whole time, they didn't even fuck with us like that.
No, they didn't.
They was praying on our downfall.
Breaking my will.
No T Grizzly. Like...
breaking my spirit.
So, what are the signs, looking back, because hindsight is 2020, on how you could know, okay, maybe this is a situation I need to get myself out of?
Oh, with a friend. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like it really starts with, like, I guess how they show up for you, period. Like, if they show up in a way that's just like half-assed, like very much like, all right, I'm gonna be here for you, but I'm also still somehow like dialed out. Like, if it's very much like, okay, I'm halfway here. Like, for example, like if they show up to, like, for example, a birthday party or something like that, but they end up making it about themselves. I feel like that's something that is like, all right, I feel like you're really not here for me. Like, celebrating your wins. That's, I think, the biggest thing. It's like, can you celebrate my wins with me? And does that feel authentic? Does that feel like really true? So, like, I feel like that's the main thing for me first off the bat. Like, with a friend, is like, all right, if I have a win in my life, do I see you reciprocating the joy that I'm feeling too? And like, it will be a telltale sign. A lot of times with like old friends, I didn't feel like they were celebrating my wins. I feel like they just were like, oh, okay, that's cool. Or like, oh, like kind of like downplaying the wins too. I think that's been a thing in the past. I would say that's like one of the first things is like downplaying the wins. Because if I'm here celebrating you and like you will genuinely see like, oh, I'm happy for you. Like, I hope things continue going great. Like, I'll pour so much like manifesting, like verbal manifesting into like others and into my friends. But if I don't feel like that's reciprocated, I think that's like one of the main signs for me. Like right off the bat. You know what I mean? I don't know. That could just be me. But like...
that's the sign.
Okay.
Because people it's a different energy that you get from people who actually genuinely support you. And it's not just for show or just not to make you think that they support you.
Exactly.
You can feel and see in their response that they're genuinely excited as if they have achieved said accomplishment.
Yep. So like, I feel like there's been so many times where I'm like, all right, I have like a shoot, or like, it could be something small. For me, shoots are small. So like doing like a photo shoot, that's just a normal day for me. Like, I go to work. That's just me saying I go to work. But like, there's been times where like, I'll say something about a shoot and I can like either physically like see like somebody is like, or like it almost is just like a physical thing, or it's just like oh, that's like, okay, that's cool. Like, I don't know. It's just, it comes off so like, it can come off so like inauthentic sometimes with just the simplest things for me. Cause I think a shoot is just small, but it starts off small and then it grows often with a lot of things. So I think that's like the main thing first is like, look at the little things for you. Like, it could be even like, I had a good day at work, or I had a great day at, like, I don't know, just doing something. And it's just like, if somebody can't sit there and listen and just be like, wow, like, I'm here with you. I'm celebrating with you. It's the little things that like will show at first, and then they grow into bigger things for me, for many different scenarios. I feel like too, I don't know. It's just definitely the days too. I feel like listening to, like when you're listening to each other, that also is a telltale sign too, because like, if I'm like listening and I'm just, I don't know, I'm listening to your day, and like vice versa. That's like for relationships too, any relationship. If I'm listening to you have like, you know, a rant about your day, or like something amazing happened in your day, I'm actively listening. But if you can't do the same, vice versa for me, that's the one little thing I'm like, all right, let me see if this grows. And usually it does. Usually it'll grow into something like way bigger. So I feel like that's another sign too. That's another sign.
Active listening.
Active listening. I don't know. What do you think? Do you feel like active listening is like, how do you feel about that?
I feel
as a friend,
active listening, that's just a baseline thing that you should do for people that you interact with.
Okay.
So if you're not active listening, I don't even know if we being friends at that point. Like, we're not friends. We're acquaintances that link up for XYZ reason at that point.
Okay, period.
And that's fine. But like, you're not my friend. What the fuck do you know about me if you ain't really listening?
I don't know. I feel like I get stuck in the therapist friend sometimes with a lot of people. So I'm always gonna like try and listen at first base value. I'm gonna just like listen to your day. I'm gonna listen to what you had going on. And like, I feel like sometimes the way I've always found out like a friend isn't a friend is they just tuned it out like completely. Like everything I was saying.
When you said you had like something going on.
Like something exciting, like just tunes me out, like completely. I feel like for the therapist friends, I feel like the therapist friends get that a lot. The people who like to listen to like other people's problems, you know, like we just end up always getting like the flip side of the coin, which is nobody really wants to like listen, especially if it's a bad friend. Now I have a good friend. I have a really good friend. One of my best friends who you interviewed, she's an active listener. Like, and that's how I know, I have a good friend, is that I will, like, vice versa, we'll be listening to each other. And it could be about the littlest things. It could be about, like, I don't know, just like your day. Like, I know, for example, she was talking about like how she loves bees earlier. And I don't know if she realized that I was listening, but I was actively listening to like those little things because like I know they matter to her. So like, I don't know. The active listening is like you said, it's at a core value of friendship. Like, that's just one of those things.
Yeah, and you can't really get around that. If you're not listening, you don't know me.
Exactly.
You don't know me, and if you don't know me, you can't call me your friend. You could say you think I'm a pretty cute girl, or I have fun when I go out, but you're not my friend. You just know me. Like, know a surface level version of me.
Yeah.
When you said sometimes like it would start with, you mentioned that you have a shoot in the day and that's just a small occurrence, and there would be like small little nits or picks. Do you think it's hard, one, being pretty, but then two, being a model and maintaining friendships with people who, this is controversial in my experience, if I have had friends that either one, are not in a serious relationship, or two, conventionally attractive in some way. There's many ways to be conventionally attractive.
Right.
But in some type of way, they don't got nothing going for them. The friendship don't last.
You have to have something.
You got to have something, or you're in a relationship so you're not bothered by the attention that I get.
That's actually hella true. I think that's so true because, like, for example, I've had friends in the past that, like, didn't have a relationship, and I felt like a lot of times they were just my friend to be, like, either around, like, the pretty friend and, like, have me there. I don't think I was ever really, like, meant to be, like, a real close friend. I think it was just what is that called? Proximity. Yeah, proximity, I forgot the word for it, but it's essentially just being in proximity of someone attractive. That's days. That's like generations old trick. Women have done it for years. Like hang around a pretty friend so that therefore you can like get some sort of like attention.
Into the circles that they're in and the privileges that they get. Because it's all, the reels and TikToks where they're like, take one for the team, and they talking about with guys and the spreads, and it's like, please, like this John trying to talk to me.
Take one for the team.
Take one for the team and talk to her friend, entertain her friend. That's the situation. It's the proximity, whatever the name of the thing is. It's the proximity thing where it's like, well, I'm gonna get into the situation just by being in proximity to the girl.
Yeah.
So they but then they resent you. And that's why I'm saying it doesn't end up working out. It's never a long-term friendship.
Yeah.
Because you're resenting me over something that I can't control.
Right. I feel like a lot of times too, I play like, I give people so much like room for like beauty standards. Because of what I go through, I'm just like, there's a lot of women out here that can be like, there's like, beauty has like wide limits. But like a lot of times, especially like if I talk to like a guy friend, or if I just like have an open conversation with anybody, like just general pop, I'm just like, I realize I give people a lot of grace when it comes to like beauty standards. So like sometimes the friends that I have around me, like, I'm just like, no, she's beautiful. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's stunning.
And you genuinely think that because you see them as a person, not just an object.
Yeah.
But we gotta be for real in that, like...
I realized later, I'm like, maybe that wasn't the most attractive person. And it shows, like, so I will say, and there's been times in the past where it's like, does pretty privilege end up becoming a thing? Yeah, for sure. And sometimes it will make like the friendship even like a little rocky because people just walking around will point it out. And that's another thing that is just like, ooh, I don't want to like create a rift. So like, that's why I'm always like, all right, girl, like, no, you're beautiful. Like, what are you talking about?
And you're trying to downplay yourself, but
yeah,
lying to a bitch ain't doing her no good. It ain't, because look, if it's like, I'll put it like this. If I have hair sticking out of my ears right now, like, and I say to you, like, does my ear look okay? And you keep telling me yes.
Yeah.
What good is that doing?
Not a damn thing.
For me.
Not a damn thing.
Besides making me, and then if I already know, like, deep down, like, okay, when we go out, people talk to you, they don't talk to me. And then you're telling me, oh, but you're gorgeous. You're fucking lying to me.
I'm screaming.
I'm gonna take it some type of way.
Right. I know. That's so true. That's so true. But I will say though, I will always tell my girlfriends if something is off. I will always tell them like,
yeah, like if you're not presenting.
Yeah, if you're not presentable.
Because presentation is different.
But I'm not going to tell them, the girl, your nose looks messed up. You got to go and get like
a job.
Go and get a nose job.
Because you don't have to get a job.
No.
But what I will say, this is a whole other topic. Actually, maybe you could speak to it as someone who's actually in the industry. But you don't actually have to get work done to be more presentable. You have to find looks that work for you and market that look. And you have to, like, if you're going to try to be a model, you have to show up like that look all the time. But if you got a trial and error and just try a look, but if you're not like naturally blessed, you could still make it work if that's the goal that you have in life. And my beef with certain people be like, well, don't be mad at me or make little snubs at me.
Right.
Because I have it easier if your goal isn't even really actually to be seen in that way. Like, is that really your goal?
Because at the end of the day, what is like, sometimes I wonder, why do you have the pretty friend? Like, what's the point in having a pretty friend? Is it like sometimes it just depends on like the person. Because for me, I feel like in the past, I've been the pretty friend so that like it can make the other person look more, I guess, like special or like A-list. I don't know if that makes sense, but like it elevated what they already were. And so like it made them feel like on a pedestal in a way. But like you can manipulate and use your pretty friend in many different ways. I feel like some people do it for that purpose. Some people do it because they want themselves to like feel a little bit better. Like, okay, I'm just around somebody that's, you know, that's cool. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you can manipulate the pretty friend in different ways. And like, but at the end of the day, it's still like, what are we friends for? Like, what are we here for?
You're manipulating the situation versus actually genuinely showing up and being my friend. And not to say that that can't be the case, but there's this creator and I need to find her information and shout her out. But she made a YouTube video about being the non-conventionally attractive friend. She had like a really conventionally attractive light-skinned friend and she was brown-skinned, and also like her features just weren't considered conventionally attractive. And
that European standard.
Yeah, European standard. And she wasn't overweight by any matters, but she just wasn't skinny. Again, European standard, but again, not overweight. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, I think you need to go to the doctor type of thing at all. Just average person. And she was talking about like, I love my friend and I genuinely do like to see her succeed. And you can tell she was being genuine. Like, I love her, but I can't go out with her anymore because I was invisible next to her. When I was with her, guys would even almost like elbow me to get in front of her. It was like I just didn't exist at all because their line of sight was to her. And she was like, well, she had decided for her birthday one year, oh, I'm going to do the whole big thing. Like, I'm going to get the lashes for my birthday. It's not like her intent in life is not to just be seen, which is what makes her an actual good friend. Yeah. Because she's still friends with the girl. She's just like, we're not going to go out. I'm not going to put myself in this situation where we're at a bar or club and I know these things are going to happen. Right. Not because it's your fault, but because men ain't shit. You just know, and they should be, they don't acknowledge me even though they should. It doesn't matter what I look like. So she'll be like, we'll go to restaurants, we'll get coffee. We do other things and I love her, but at the end of the day, I cannot go out with her. So she was saying like one year she decided like, okay, I'm going to do the stuff for my birthday, like get glammed up. And she did that and it was still the same situation. Wow. But yeah, I think she did it. If anything, I think like she did it in the best way where she was like, this situation of me and you being out brings out these negative traits in other people. That is not fun for me. Yeah, exactly. So this is how me and you going to do our friendship. I love you. I'm not mad at you, but I am mad, rightfully so, at the situation because that's like I'm invisible to people. Yeah, no, that's healthy. That's a very healthy way to maneuver your pretty friend. Like I feel like that's the only way that it should be. Like understand the situations, understand the settings where like you are going to either feel that insecurities come up. Like, cause I'm sure like people always will have like certain insecurities about whatever when it comes to their pretty friend. It could be that she's tall. It could be that she has great skin. It could be for any reason. Like the pretty friend doesn't always have to either fit like it could just be something that you don't have that you wish you had. You wish you had. Exactly. So like I think that maneuvering is like the healthiest thing I've ever heard. Like especially dealing with a friend is like, all right, I know where to place you. Everything has a time and a place. So like 1000% agree that like you should not manipulate it, but manipulate the situations in a way that's like that's healthy and honest and placing your discomfort where it should be placed at society, not at your friend. Exactly. And I wish that I had seen that video when I was 16, gaining friends and had it throughout my life to be more conscious because I think as someone because pretty privilege and light skin privilege, they kind of go hand in hand because we can talk about that too. Yeah, it goes hand in hand. And as someone who's always been like the light skinned friend, I wish that I knew more of this stuff at the time because maybe some of my friendships could have been saved in the way that we interacted with each other.
Yeah.
And when we interacted with each other.
Mm.
If I would have been more aware of certain patterns of, hey, she really does support me.
Yeah.
When we are talking about fitness or whatever the case may be. But when we go out and this type of stuff in these situations, this might be a little touchy subject. So maybe me and her don't do these things together. Because you can't expect people to do that work themselves. Because people are people. But I could, at least on my end, determine if there are any situations where you actually give a fuck about me. And sometimes it's no. Sometimes it's like, actually, you just aren't my friend, period, point blank at all. But other times I really feel like it's something that's coming in the way. Like, I was talking about this yesterday. Women be competing with each other.
Yeah. And it's often, it's like a lot. And it sucks that it's like that is like almost like a foundational thing, or like the canon event in a woman's life is always like, for some reason, the competition amongst each other, where it's like, I think I was actually going to post this today too. I feel like one of the things that I've learned in modeling is like, one of the biggest like life lessons I've had is like community over competition, mostly because I'm around beautiful women all the time. Like, there's so many times where I'm just like, wow, she is 1000% prettier than me. But like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's power in the fact that like, there are going to be like many, like, I guess many women that also feel the same exact way as you do. You don't even know it. And you're like standing next to someone and they feel like so insecure about something completely similar. Like, so it's a lot of community, high key amongst us. It's just like, I feel like oftentimes we will turn to competition. Like,
people turn to competition, and it's not right. It's not healthy. I was talking with Samira earlier about how, like, even with eating, she was saying, like, eating with other people versus eating alone, your blood pressure is lower or something like that. And I'm like, the community literally heals.
Yeah.
And I hate that women specifically can tend to get so competitive and catty, because then you have the friend that is maybe considered closer to Eurocentric standards, and then you have the friend that's not, and then me as the immature 17-year-old who's closer to those standards might be like, well then fuck you, you ugly ass bitch. Like, and then I'm contributing to the problem, but I'm not trying to. But it's like, you was picking at me and then I picked at you, but then it's like, now we're pit against each other.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's what they want.
Exactly.
I'm a big, that's what they want. That's what they don't want us to know. That's what they want us to do. Like that, but that's what they want. They don't want us as women to be for each other.
Yeah.
And it should be working, because
I feel like there's a lot. Oh, go ahead.
Us as objects.
Yeah.
And then we fall in line with it.
That 1000%. I feel like, especially with modeling, like, I could go into so many different like holes about that, but like, because quite literally we are treated like as objects, where we have to eat a certain thing, where we have to like maintain a certain weight, where there always is like a standard of beauty that's ever changing, constantly evolving. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's a matter of what you essentially are like aligned with at the end of the day. Like, you just have to be really, really comfortable in your own skin, especially if you're around a whole bunch of women. Like, you really have to be like set on, okay, I am happy with who I am. I'm happy with the way I look. I'm happy with, you know, just the life that I've been given. Like, because I feel like when you're around a bunch of women, there's so many different things that will come up to the surface. But I feel like some of the best conversations and the best advice I always get from women in circles of women. Like, we are phenomenal communicators. We are always going to get information from each other. I think that in and of itself is like one thing that shouldn't kind of turn us into competition. It should be the simple fact that we're able to communicate, able to share information, because I don't know, we're just more intellectual. Obviously, we're more intellectual. But like, I just think that also too, there's like a lot of things that we can learn from each other, especially the more like we talk. And I've been in so many rooms where it's like, I'll have makeup artist conversations. Like I'll be sitting around with the makeup artist and we'll just start having like a therapy session about something. And she'll tell me an experience that she had when she was my age. And that's then how I learned something new. Like, I think a lot of times, like, especially me being around a bunch of women, all it takes is somebody to like simply just open up the conversation.
Yes.
All it takes is somebody to just like be friendly, just be, be cordial. And I guarantee there's a lot of things that can like spring from that, especially just being in a group of women alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I think it's, I don't know, it's a tough thing. It really is. Cause it's like, when it comes to like that objectivity, especially for like models and whatnot, I think the objectivity is like that turns into a lot of self-hate.
Yes.
And that's then where it comes out like like, I guess, I don't know, competition. But competition, a lot of that comes from like self-hate,
Well, it all comes from that.
Yeah.
Because why are you competing with anybody that's not yourself if we're not playing a sport?
Exactly.
Like if we not kicking a ball into a goal or passing a basketball into a basket, like why am I competing with anybody that's not me? I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And if I feel a certain type of way when I see, oh, you are taller than me, then maybe I need to evaluate my relationship with my height. That's how I would see it. It's not that you can't have insecurities around people and not be their friend. You can. Anything can bring an insecurity out of somebody. I personally don't have the height insecurity, but that's just the easiest thing to do. But it's like, if I did have that insecurity and then I'm around you and Samira, and you and Samira are both tall, young ladies, I'm going to feel more insecure. Does that mean y'all can't be my friends or that we're not friends? No, it just means I need to go do some little work with myself and be like.
But the irony of it is too, like for the tall girls, there was times where like we really felt insecure. Like really felt insecure.
I've heard that.
Yes, extremely insecure. Like there's been times where I'm like, okay, I can't wear heels. I can't like enjoy the like simple luxury of like, just having my thighs look a little more tushed. Because like, I don't know, heels make your legs look great. That's for any height. But like, I don't know. I just feel like not even simply being able to wear heels is like one of those things, like as a woman, I should have every right to do. And as a tall girl, for years, I've always felt like that. For years, I feel like there's a big thing with tall girls too. A lot of us slouch because it's like, we're trying to like kind of still be like, smaller. I noticed that with a lot of tall girls, like naturally we walk with a little bit more of a hunch because like, yeah, it's only when you finally get a little more comfortable that like, all right, I don't care how much taller I'm going to look if I have my shoulders back, because that obviously adds height. Once you put your shoulders back, that's going to give you at least a little inch or so. So yeah, no, I feel like simply that in and of itself being a tall girl.
I did not know that psychology.
Oh yeah, no, I'm over here like always slouching as a kid. I noticed I did it because I was just like kind of essentially trying to make myself shorter. Like,
and
always
fit into, not take up that much space.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy how we as women are all in one way or another trying to figure out how we can take up less space.
Yep.
It does, like, yes, we talk about it with the pretty privilege, and that's one thing. And you were compensating by trying to be like, oh, but you are beautiful. You are this, you are that.
Yep.
With being tall, trying to take up less space. There's times where I would bite my tongue. I had like a spiritual reading and they said my throat chakra was closed at some point because there was so many years of me just not saying the truth because people don't like the truth that I was trying to like become smaller.
Yep.
And they were comparing it to like, that little fish story where he had all those little sequins.
Oh, yeah.
And they were saying it was like I was giving away all my sequins to try to make other people feel better and take up less space and be like, oh no, it's okay. Like you can have a sequin. You're like whatever. And then I came to the point where like, where the fuck are my sequins at? Because I gave them all away.
Yeah, I remember that book. That was so cute. That was a cute little book. Oh my God, girl, you was giving away your sequin.
I was giving my sequins away.
You were giving your shine away.
Yes.
Oh.
And I think women do it though.
Often, a lot, in so many different ways. And it could be like in modeling. I mean, obviously modeling is like not a common thing, but I find so many like life meanings from it. like I have a lot of takeaways from like just modeling, because it's essentially like it turns your eye on like so many things that we naturally do as women. Like we do makeup, we may make ourselves really small. Like especially on set, there's a lot of times where like we just don't want to say things, or like we don't ever want to say we're uncomfortable because we don't, number one, want to lose a job, and number two, we don't want to be that unlikable model, or like that,
because then you won't get jobs again. Because the thing is with modeling, and with a lot of industries, it's based on who likes you and who doesn't like you, and you don't want to make someone upset. Yeah. That's why we had Harvey Weinstein with the actresses and shit. That's why we have all these things in all these industries, is because we're told we're supposed to just appease and make ourselves feel less than, be likable. Yeah. You can have, you can chit chat with your friends about it later. We can have a little Me Too movement. Yeah. But it's still going to happen, right? Like Me Too didn't really do shit. Like, no. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, it made it to where now I know I'm not alone. Not me personally, but anybody. Like, now we know we're not alone, right? Yeah. That's good. So let me not say it didn't do nothing. That's rude. That's mean. It did. Like, it didn't change the industry. But
the industry, especially for like entertainment and modeling and stuff like that, I still think that it maybe shifted things, but it didn't remove them at all. Like, it just made it a way to like, all right, we have to make this easier hidden. Like, we have to hide this way more, rather than like, actually doing things about like reform. I mean, there's small ways that they're doing reform in modeling. Like, we have like a council now like that does like modeling. It's a whole thing. But either way, there essentially isn't that much like, I guess, corporate or like I guess HR in the entertainment industry, in modeling, in acting, in any sort of entertainment field. It's not that much like ability to control. I mean, it's starting to get that way now, but like still there's still a lot of things that still need to be done for that. So I don't know. I feel like the reform of it all is like, it's going to take, I don't know what it's going to take for like women to like end up feeling like, I don't know, comfortable in their own skin and able to like really speak in their industry, like be able to have a voice. I feel like it's going to take like more of us creating our own things. Like I actually worked with this one lady who created her own wellness studio because she realized that women were, especially in like the healthcare practices and stuff like that, they weren't seeing a lot of concern. A lot of things were getting still overlooked even by your like OBGYN. Yes. So she just created a wellness studio where like people could come for natural remedies and stuff like that. I feel like it's going to take more of us, again, coming back to that conversation of like us just being able to be there for each other and be part of like a community, like really focusing on community over that competition. I think that in and of itself is what's going to help, I guess, make ourselves like feel a little more confident in who we are as women. I don't know if that's going to be the thing or what, but I think that like that's a step in the right direction. Us like creating circles for each other rather than, kind of ousting one another.
I don't think we could do it without the help of men.
Oh.
Had to say it.
Oh.
I had to say it.
Oh, why do we say it?
I say it because I think about what I'm able to do. I can come up here on this podcast and I can say whatever I want to say. And I don't have to worry about losing a job because I quit.
Period.
Period. I don't have to worry about whatever job I am or am not going to be able to get based on how I say it or who I say it about because I have the support of a man.
Oh, listen. And when you can be honest like that, I feel like that's fair.
But I wouldn't be able to have this platform and do what I'm doing and speak those truths and create the community that I'm trying to create without fear of repercussion if I did not have that support. Because he can go do his little corporate job and be fine because he's not experiencing... His job is hard. Like, he's a lawyer, but it's like he's not experiencing what I experience as a woman at work in any job I do. So he can go make that money and provide financially for our family. And I can put myself out there and I can take those risks to speak up and be loud and take up space. And I don't have to give a fuck about any of y'all's consequences because I'm taken care of.
Damn, that's crazy. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like for me, I don't know if I could like, I don't know how I can speak to that. Cause like, I don't know. So for me, girl, there's some things that you mentioned, but I do like five different jobs. So like, I'm over here working like a slave. I am
Yes.
a model. I do make my own handmade permanent jewelry. When I'm not doing that, I work at KYW. When I'm not doing that, I part-time work as a substitute teacher in the time that I
And there's things that you can and cannot say.
Girl,
there's things that you're not going to say on this podcast, even if you think them.
Ooh, I wonder, what could I say? As far as what? What do you mean?
Anything. Like, you're not going to say anything that is controversial or could be not necessarily controversial, but that could come in the way of how someone who is employing you
I see what you're saying.
Perceive it.
Okay, so as far as like the constraints on like employment, I feel like there's some constraints, but not as, I don't know, not as many as like when it comes to
other people may have. The other reason I think we need the help of men is because we all should be able to work in whatever industry that we want to work in, right? So you're in the modeling industry. You shouldn't have to worry about, oh, someone might not like me because I don't appease to them to get a job.
Yeah.
Your ability to get jobs should be based on how well you do jobs.
Absolutely. That's true.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
But who controls those jobs ultimately? Men. With the support of women, right?
The support of women, but I might have to disagree on it, mostly because for example, I do like, I will say that yes, we need help from both men and women, but I feel like I am getting in these spaces where like women are creating their own, I don't know, their own businesses for number one, their own niches, if that's like kind of the thing.
Yeah, there's micros,
but a lot of micros.
What I think the thing about it is we can create change with just women, but we're not going to have no overhaul with just women. Like, we're not going to have that big shift. We can all do our little things with just women.
Yeah.
I was going to be fabulous and create community with or without my man. Thank you, though, for sponsoring me. So, thank you for the sponsor. But I was going to figure out how to get it done regardless.
Yes.
But if I want to make a huge shift, like, models can just be the fuck who they are and do their job, we have to get men to, like, certain men, not all of them. We have to get them on board, because even if I think about the simple fact of, okay, women are starting businesses in niches, at first, you can spread that by word of mouth. But if it's a narrative or if it's a thing that's not going to benefit bigger groups of people that actually control things, they're not going to show your business stuff on social media unless you pay. And even then, it's like, are they going to really help you get it to the right target market? How are you going to really expand your business? You think about like business licenses. That's a political thing to be getting those.
Yeah.
Property. If they see I'm shaking shit up too much, they can kick me out. There's a business, actually, the lady who did my hair, shout out Ari. She, where she does hair at, the salon, they've been trying to get them out. They're Black owned. And they've been trying to get them out. So the place that they rent, they have to close. It's closing. Yeah. So when they don't, and they were starting to do more community stuff, like women stuff, like hosting, just like, oh, we don't have a space to normally talk and be women and chill without kids and this and that and the third. Yeah. Now all of a sudden they're being kicked out, and not due to anything that there's nothing bad happening there. They're not selling drugs. Yeah. Nothing. Just literally like, oh, we don't want these Black women here no more. Wow. So there's so many things that, like, as soon as I start to make some shit shake, you can take it away. because you're men and you're white, specifically white men, even bigger. But black men, they be doing their big one in corporate America.
I'm dead. I think I'm not against men in any of this. Like, I don't say that, like, you know, okay, we don't need the help of men, because everybody needs help. I think we all, like, will need help in different ways from everybody. I just think that, like, when I say, like, as far as, like, when it comes to, like, women learning and kind of, like, getting more confidence in themselves, I feel like it will also take a lot of us shifting the, I guess, narratives of what is sexy, what is, like, you know, what is attractive, what is the pretty friend, like, shifting that narrative. I think that can honestly, like, come from each other. And I don't know. I know what you're saying as far as, like, men will also run.
But if they control the power, it's like, okay, so I could be not attractive.
But you're also saying not attractive based on, like, probably what men think, right?
But this is the thing about it. Men control shit in this world.
They do, yes.
So it don't fucking matter if I really think I look good. Right. I could be looking like a booty hole, and I go and I come in the mirror and I'm like, you know what? Me and my women friends done pipe me up, and I really feel good in my skin, and that's good. Yeah. That's good. That's a great start for making the world better. Yeah. But then I'm still going to go out and I'm still going to try to get a job. People who are more attractive, and who controls that? Men. I'm still going to go out. I'm still going to try to get a job, even if it's not modeling. Right. Corporate America. Yeah. And I'm going to still look like that fucking booty hole. And the bitch next to me look a little bit better. She going to get the job.
Well, you know, I feel like,
and there are studies that have been done on it. That's like a real,
like, that's definitely a thing. 1000%. I mean, you go in.
So it don't really matter if we pipe each other up. It does matter. Yeah. What I'm saying is it matters. That's a start. It's a strong start. Like, yes, like, it is. We need to do that, because we need to stop being in competition with each other. That's step one. Yeah. That's just what
information comes from.
That's step one.
Step one.
But then we have many steps after that, because we can all kumbaya and honor our shit. But what is honoring your shit if you can't do nothing with it after that in the world? Because think about, like, okay, I think about segregation.
Okay.
Separate but equal. Let's migrate it in. It was supposed to be separate but equal, right? Black folk wasn't saying, I want to be white people and I want to be in white people's spaces.
Definitely weren't. No.
We were saying, look, if your water fountain works, I would like my water fountain to work. Yep. If you can walk outside your house and have access to this type of store, I want to walk outside my house and have access. Because we was building our own communities that were not white people there. And we wasn't worried about them. Nope. And then they burnt it down. Yep. So it's not about we can't be happy and confident as Black people or as pretty people or as ugly people. We can all be happy and confident and live our good old life like the Black people was doing back in the day before they burned our stuff down. We was living our good old life in Oklahoma, wherever that was. Georgia, by ourselves. We was doing the damn thing, and they burnt it down. So if the people in power, if we don't get at least a couple of them to help, because there's going to be some that most are not going to do shit. Yeah. And never will. But if we don't get at least a couple to prevent them from burning my city down, what the fuck do it matter that I'm confident and I'm smart and I'm this and I'm that? Because they gonna burn it down anyway, because they own the shit.
I mean, I feel like when it comes to, I feel like the transition is slightly happening. I don't know. I feel like sometimes too in fashion especially, I feel like this is very much a tangent, very much random tangent. But I feel like because fashion loves to press on the I guess the pulse of what is I guess beauty and what are the beauty standards and whatnot. I feel like a lot of times I notice that, like, in fashion there's androgyny that happens in a lot of models, and like, you know, it's very much like, all right, very unisex, like you look like, you know, you could be either man or woman. And that is what they like put at the top of like beauty standards too. I think essentially to just kind of either like keep things in the middle for some reason. I don't know. That's just my like random.
The unattainable. They want to sell the unattainable.
Perhaps, yeah. But like, I feel
because
like
they make money off of that.
maybe, but I feel like more so, I think that they're trying to push the like beauty standards of like what is a beautiful woman considered to be. Like, I feel
been androgynous for a while now.
It has,
in that type of. I think because the unattainable is what sells, and what's if I'm constantly spending money to try to attain something I'm never going to attain. Then I'm gonna constantly spending money to try to get to something. So they wanna. So when that's why like people taking their BBLs out now, because now that we could do that shit on financing and get a BBL on a layaway, they like, oh, now the skinny is the thing, and it's like, okay, we got Ozempic, but it's like being skinny is not enough. You got to be skinny but have a little bit of curve. Like they're just the bar is being up to where I'm gonna just keep spending more money. I gotta spend money to get the BBL. I gotta spend money to take it out. I gotta spend money to get
that part is, I think, essential, because like whatever we're spending money on is therefore going to be the thing that like will, you know, like just will be, I don't know. Whatever we spend our money on is essentially the main reason for why the standards are always going to be where they're at.
And that's why we need people who are in positions of power who are like, you know, I don't need $1 billion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,
but, like, still, yeah. I get what you're saying.
We need that because it'll be that person that doesn't push this one narrative out to everyone, or censor me trying to put a narrative out about, like, you know how people with even hair, and they're like, oh, 4C hair, and there's not like enough creators on YouTube about 4C hair and stuff. It's like, maybe if there's one person that's higher up who's not trying to sell me, trying to attain a certain hair type, then maybe there'll be 2 more 4C YouTube videos I see, and maybe I won't want to jump out the window.
Right, yeah.
Like, not, I don't feel that way, but you know, maybe like I see 2 videos, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, like it just takes one person who has that type of power to have a trickle down effect. But we started, and we start the conversations amongst ourselves, and then we are able to, as a community of women who are now empowered and knowledgeable and not in competition, bring that to people of power. And
go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Change.
And
that's
change.
it.
Period. I was going to say, pretty and capitalism really do go hand in hand. Like, they do. Like, it is insane how you're like tying this in together, because the pretty friend, anything pretty, it always is rooted into capitalism. Like, whatever, like you said, is going to keep us paying our money to get injections, paying our money to get the Botox. I'm shocked, absolutely shocked as a model to see Botox commercials. When I saw the first Botox commercial, I was like, oh, they're actually promoting this now? So like, pretty in and of itself is directly funneled into capitalism. The second we stop paying for certain things, I feel like the idea of pretty is going to probably be broken. I feel like that is something that in and of itself is like, stop spending the money. Just stop spending money on things that like is absolutely ridiculous.
We won't, because I might need that to get a job.
I might need that to get a job. I might need that
even think about it like dancers, like people who are strippers, dancers, whatever. Like, well, damn, now I got to get my ass done. Now I got to get my titties done, because the other models, dancers that have this are making money and I'm not.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the shit because I don't have no fucking money.
Same thing for modeling.
So,
that happens all the time. People get nose jobs, people get boob jobs, people get like, you know, everything.
The models be getting the nose jobs like
crazy. They get nose jobs.
Fucking wisdom teeth taken out.
And they do. And like, it's so hard to be in this industry because like you said, essentially it funnels into, what are we spending our money on as women? Like, what are we going to keep spending our money on?
And that's the thing. It's like, well, if I really am passionate about modeling, why wouldn't I?
At some point, though, I think this is why I say, as a model, like, a lot of stuff like transpires and like it directly corresponds into life, is because like, as a model, at some point you got to stop. At some point. Because at some point it's gonna get too much. At some point you have to be confident in yourself. At some point you have to be like, okay, you know what? I am good enough, because you can go out and get all these different things. But at the end of the day, it's not really going to change much inside. Like, at the end of the day, you really have to be like set on, like, as a woman in general, you really have to find confidence, and you really have to like tap into like your just feminine energy, your I guess goddess energy in a way, because like at some point you just, enough is enough. Like, especially in modeling, I'm always like, at what point am I gonna like be like, okay, I'm happy with my beauty? And never. You know why? Because it's constantly evolution. Like, it's just gonna keep changing. The beauty cycle is gonna keep always change
to get you to spend money.
Yeah, and it always comes back around, by the way. Yeah, it always rotates. Like, I mean, the conventions of beauty are always gonna like come back around in the same way. It's gonna change and then it's gonna come right back all the time.
Period.
And I have one friend, he was a photographer, and I'll never forget his bit of advice. It was great advice. And he was just like, I remember I was like, oh my God, I, for example, wanted to have a really beautiful nose, like really like straight, sharp, pointed nose, curving up to the top like all the girls do. And like, I remember he was just like, Liz, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to be chasing the beauty standards that are always changing? You will never not stop. So like, essentially for women, we got to look at it like that, especially when it comes to like beauty. It's like, all right, at some point, you know, this, I can't keep changing myself for a standard that's always going to change forever in time, you know? So like, I think that's another thing too, to like think about when it comes to like being like, you know, either around the pretty friend or even like being the pretty friend in and of itself. Like, just think about like the fact that, you know what, there are standards of beauty that are going to forever change. That friend that's not pretty, at some point the circle will come back around, and that ugly friend actually might be the standard of beauty at some point. Like,
maybe not. No, because there's
I'm
certain
still
ones.
hopeful. Can you still hear it? I'm still hopeful.
You are. And it's, we got to be for real.
I mean, there's some people that are pretty, there's some people that aren't, but I feel like the standards of beauty change so much that like,
but they're all always Eurocentric.
They're always going to be Eurocentric. I mean, again, I haven't seen a time when they haven't.
Even with the BBL though, it's like the Coke bottle, the whatever. And it's like, you're still supposed to be skinny in the right places.
Yep.
And your face, it's like, it's not still supposed to be Eurocentric.
Yeah. Everything's supposed to be narrow. I feel like the narrow is like that look. And like, I don't think, I mean, they've been trying to change it. They've been trying
and they do things with like the big lips and stuff like that with lip fillers and all that. They want to take certain features, but it's taking certain features.
Yeah.
The one thing I think that has been consistent for the past 60 years, that nose. They don't.
I knew you were gonna say it. Like, that nose, they don't play about the nose.
They don't play about that nose.
Yeah.
Even if like the kind of shape or like tilt, that can change.
Yeah.
But the fact that they don't like
it
afro,
can't get too big.
Noses.
Yeah.
Like that has been consistent.
1000%. I feel like that's so true. And I feel like I've been waiting on the day when that actually will change. But I feel like naturally there are certain ethnicities, there are certain people that like will have a different nose, that have a different nose shape, that like are curved a little more than are curved in the other direction rather than like tilted up like Cindy Lou Who. You know, like I feel like the Cindy Lou Who noses are very much like the big trend, and like they've never not been. But I still think that it's like, it's extremely like, it's just extremely unrealistic, because it's like, there's even like people who have white features that are essentially like, they don't have that nose. So I don't know where exactly that nose idea comes from, but I feel like there's a lot of I don't know, just I don't know how to like say it, but like maybe animosity. That's not the right word. But either way, when it comes to that feature, that's a big one that I will say too, that I see lots of models getting done. A lot of models struggle with it too, because you get it done and then ends up like either kind of shifting, or like, it's a lot of problems when it comes to rhinoplasties that like many people probably don't know. Like, you often have to go back and get it like redone a lot. That's like one of the things I will say. But either way, that's me getting off on a digression. I feel like mostly when it comes to that feature, it's, I don't know if I would call it European. Essentially, that's what my point is. I don't think I would say it's like European 100%, because I feel like there's still some Europeans that will have like not that nose. I don't know where that concept ever came from, but it's one of those things that's like, I feel like somebody just said, this is a beautiful nose. And now we're all like kind of having to be succumb to that like standard.
I feel like it's a certain type of European. And
it's a certain type of European. That's what I was about to say. It's a specific type of European.
And we just decided that's the one that we all want.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of Europeans that don't.
Because it's not a black nose.
No. Well, I mean, I've seen some black women that have like pretty like, you know, like curved like in that direction. I don't know what that's concave.
But I don't think that's African.
It's
East African? Okay.
East African.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Eastern African, Eastern European. What's in the East? I don't know. Let me stop. But besides the point, I think that like it's somebody decided this is the nose that we're going to go with. And I agree with you. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of features that like, you know, I feel like are being bent in the beauty standards, but like that nose is not one of them for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Some people may say otherwise, but I feel like the nose is like...
It's not being that.
Yeah. I feel like that's a big one.
But. And it'd be people who get the nose. I've seen models who get the nose. I'm like, it's some other shit you could have got done before you got that nose done. Because the nose wasn't the problem in your face.
Yo. I'm so dead.
Yeah.
Not that there could have been other things. Listen.
Like that did. Like, because the nose.
The nose is important, man.
Yeah.
Nose sells.
The nose I don't get it.
Money. You know why? I think it's the profile. I think the profile makes a big difference. The profile is a major key when it comes to modeling. So I think, you know, if you got the profile with the nose, you're set for life. But like, otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. And like, you know, I mean, essentially for me, I feel like I have that nose. I feel like I have the nose where it's like, you know, it's a little curved. It's not the conventional European nose. And like, there's so many models that used to have like something similar, and they've all gotten a change. Do they make more money or less money? I wouldn't say they do. I wouldn't say that really changed their job. I feel like they get jobs and other things, but like they don't, it's not like more or less breaking modeling. But I do notice that's a big one for some reason.
Yeah.
Feature.
That's the biggest one.
Yep. 1000%. And like, I don't know, getting back to like the pretty friend thing again, I feel like as a pretty friend, yes, it's tough. I don't even think I ever answered your question. I don't think I ever answered like what's it like, you know, I guess just like how it is to be a pretty friend. I feel like essentially at the end of the day, you got to find people that like, you know, that are also confident in like their beauty in a way. Cause like,
and whatever that
beauty is. And like, you know, I think that like at the end of the day, a lot of people like lack that confidence, and you can kind of see that, especially when you have like different conversations. And I feel like for the pretty friends, the people who are pretty friends, they gotta like, you know, separate themselves from that. I think that's like the healthiest thing, separating themselves from like the I guess the possibilities of
the triggers.
Yeah, the possibility. Yeah, if you see something that's about to be like, you know, okay, this could be a problem, just, you know, separate from that. But if, you know, your friend isn't confident in yourself and themselves, and like isn't confident in just like walking with you and going places, I think that the easiest thing is to separate before it becomes a mountain of other problems. I think that kind of also is, I don't know, something that stems into like bigger things. Getting all the way back to like the bad friend and she's not your friend. I feel like that ends up becoming one of those things because you were the pretty friend. I think that also plays a role. It all plays a role. It all kind of like goes hand in hand. Like you being like the pretty friend ends up like always being like a thing that like in friendships, I notice will be a thing of conflict, you know? So I don't know. That's just, it all kind of full circles and stuff.
That girl is not your friend, but she should be, because we should be sticking together. We should be self-aware. We should love ourselves, and we should say, when we can, fuck these men's standards. And when we can't, we should say it amongst ourselves and then go and appease them later. We have to. Okay. Do you have anything you want to shout out about yourself? Like any projects you got going on? Social media? Oh, you do social media. Yeah, shout your stuff out. Do that.
Well, my social media is Instagrams and TikTok is Liz, LizLoveley, lovely.
Nothing says I love you like jewelry.
Yeah, that's 1000% true.
Behind that is cash, and then behind that is a nice bag.
Yep. But yeah, that's all I got going on. And yeah, I hope anybody who's watching comes out. Come on out.
Come on out.
Come on out. Be with the girls. It's gonna be a big girls. It's gonna be a big girls weekend.
Big B, not the little B.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on. Bye.